Hello everybody, I'm Hannah and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about every single book I plan on reading during the month of January. Okay, so we have a number of books here. These are in no way the complete compendium of all of the books on my TBR. A lot of these are ones that I really want to read soon that were failed picks from December, are ARCs. That's all of these covers that are printed out that are coming up. And then I also have quite a few on here that are from my 26 and 26 challenge because I always do one of those and then I never actually finish the books. So this is going to be the year that I finish the books. And so with that, we're gonna just kind of jump in. I think because of everything that's already on my list, like for example, even if all the ARCs don't get on, even if no ARCs get on, I still know I want to read like at least 2 to 3 in the month of January. So we have those. There is a book club pick for my podcast, which is going to be Things You Save in the Fire by Catherine Center. So I would like to figure out a way to get that on the list. And then with the book club that I'm part of, which is Chris and Mad's Page to Screen Club, we are reading Game of Thrones in January, which I don't have a hardcover of in front of me. In the back of my mind that's going to be on there too. And I won't make it one of the picks just so that we're aware that there are more than just the things that we pick today that are going to be on the list. Yeah, so I think we're going to pick, I think 6 would be a good number. With that being said, let's jump into it. I have not refreshed the TBR jar at all, so these are all prompts that were already in there from our last few. I don't know what we're dealing with, but let's pick our first prompt. This one sort of jumped out of the jar. This says, pick the book with the most interesting first line. Okay, so let's read some first lines. I'm not gonna pull out my ARCs for any of these, so we'll just jump into here. In the Veins of Drowning by Kaylee Cassidy. The air had grown heavy with the scent of the sea. Okay. In the Weeds. I put In the Weeds on here because I read Love Light Farms in December this month and I absolutely loved it. And this one's next in the series. She's sitting at the bar when I walk in, summer heat thick and oppressive at my back. Things You Save in a Fire by Catherine Center. Oh, I forgot I got this one at Powell's Books. That's so cool. The night I became the youngest person and the only female ever to win the Austin Fire Department's Valor Award, I got propositioned by my partner. Not gonna lie, that sounds pretty interesting. And then we've got Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. I read Ready or Not last month and I absolutely loved it. So I've been really excited to read some more Cara Bastone. This Baby Will Not Stop Judging Me. I think that's cute. I don't know that that's like the most interesting. I don't know that I want to go down the whole line on these. So maybe we'll stop when I find one that seems particularly interesting. This is Silver Elite by Danny Francis. There was a lot of controversy over this book when it came out, but I feel like it's died down a bit and I'm excited to read it. First line, I grew up in pure, unceasing, suffocating darkness. I think maybe we'll just stop there. I think a lot of these are good first lines, but I think Things You Save in the Fire wins for like most interesting. So we're gonna go with that. First prompt, Things You Save in the Fire by Catherine Center. Next prompt, read a book with a prologue. I know we just did this, but I don't remember. I don't think this one had a prologue. It's got an author's note. No prologue, just straight into a part 1. In the Weeds has a prologue. Again, I know we just looked, but this is just a part 1. And I don't think this one did. I literally was just in here. Chapter 1. This isn't really a prologue. It just kind of jumps into it. So I guess you could classify that as a prologue because chapter 1 doesn't start till later, but it's not really. This is Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. Content guide. Prologue on Enchantra. This is The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. I've been excited to read this one for a long time. No prologue. Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stevens. Prologue. This is Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. This is the Fairy Loot edition. That's why it looks different. No prologue. This is one of my failed books from December. I'm not gonna have time to read it. I still have like 4 books that I'm gonna try to get through. They're on the bottom shelf of this cart so that you can't judge me for them. And I think those are taking precedence over this. So that's a bummer for this one. But it does have a prologue. So let's stop there. We've got 4 to pick from. We've got In the Weeds, Enchantra, Our Infinite Fates, and Winter Garden. I'm struggling because I really do want to read Winter Garden in the winter, but I've already just failed at it and I feel like not a really strong pull to read it. So I think that one's gonna be out. I would really love to read Our Infinite Fates. I feel like this one comes up all the time for me as like a book I want to read and I just haven't gotten to. So this is a really strong contender. Enchantra is also a strong contender because I really want to finish this series and just series in general in 2026. So that's a strong contender. In the Weeds, I'm really excited about because I'll be continuing a series, but it seems very summery vibes, which is not bad. I'm not like a seasonal reader. I don't need every single book to be in the season that I'm reading, but it's also not on my 26 and 26, and these two are. So I feel like we're gonna knock In the Weeds out, and I think we're gonna pick between these two, and I think it's gonna be Our Infinite Fates. Our Infinite Fates, second book. Next, let's pick prompt 3. Read a book with 9 words in the title. I don't even know if I have a 9-word book here. In the Veins of Drowning, Promise Me Silence. So The Ornithologist Field Guide to Love is 7. None of these have 9 words. Okay, I'm going to put that one back in the jar because I'm not gonna go hunt one down. Also, I didn't get into this, but the reason that I have all of these books flipped behind me is because I made a book Christmas tree on my shelf. So I don't even have all of these facing the right way. I'm not gonna go try to dig through for a 9-word title. So just kidding. Prompt number 3, read a book with a ribbon bookmark. Okay. Well, from this list, I think Gifted and Talented might, because I feel like Fairy Loot usually comes, maybe not. I can pretty handily see that there are no ribbon bookmarks for any of these. So for lack of being so boring, I'm gonna put that one back too and pick another one. Take 3 for prompt 3. Choose a book outside your usual genre. Okay, a lot of these are inside my usual genre, but you know what I don't read a lot of is sci-fi and like apocalypse fiction, but I have been itching to read this one, so I think now's the perfect time for Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. I have been excited about reading this one for quite some time. I think I got it used, a little free library maybe. I just didn't really know what it was about, but then I feel like I've heard a ton of people talk about it since then. My husband loves the show of this book. Yeah, I'm excited to read it. So that's number 3, a book outside your usual genre. We're going with Station 11. 4th pick. Hopefully we get one that I can find a book for the first time. Read a book published in 2020. I don't know that any of these were published in 2020. Okay, I know this wasn't, this might be, but I don't think so. I think Winter Garden's quite a bit older than that. Yeah, 2010. So we missed that by a few years. In the Weeds, I think is more recently as well, 2022. We know Enchantra wasn't. Anxious People, I think this was more recent as well, but let's check. This translation was in 2020, but the original book was 2019, so I'll count that as a maybe. I'm pretty sure The Nightingale was like 2014 because I feel like it just had its 10-year anniversary book, but let's check. 2015. Oh, did I say 24? Yeah, obviously that would be 2015. Great Big Beautiful Life, no. Maybe Twisted Love? I feel like this was a really early on. Nope, 2021. Mr. Pennyweir's 24-Hour Bookstore, I know is older than that because there was a girl in high school reading it, and then Things We Left Behind was later. So yeah, I think we're gonna roll with Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. Is that how you say his name? I have never read a Frederick Bachman book, but I'm very excited to dive in. I feel like I have a lot of his books, and I kind of thought I would start with the Beartown trilogy, but people really like this one too, so I'm excited to read it. That's our 4th pick. 5th pick. Read a book with 2 words in the title. Okay, so 2 words in the title. We've got Silver Elite, The Favorites, Winter Garden, The Nightingale, Twisted Love, and I think that's it. So out of those, I think I want to go with The Favorites because it has to do with ice skating, so I feel like that's wintry and I just want to. So we're gonna put that one on. That is number 5 on our TBR for January. All right, last prompt. I think out of all that's left, I would really like to get Beneath. I would really like to get Enchantra. And I would love to get In the Veins of Drowning because I really am excited about reading this book. It just hasn't happened yet. This prompt is choose the book with the worst Goodreads rating on your TBR. So out of all of these, that means we're gonna go to Goodreads and scroll. Basically on my, well, I don't even know that I have all of these on my TBR. So this will be interesting. I think I should have a fair amount of these marked as want to read though, so we will try. It's actually very sad to see how many of these are low. Not of the books I have right there, but just of books on my want to read. There we go. First one that popped up is Gifted and Talented with 3.53, which is actually not bad. This girl here, she is a thick lady. I have this copy and then I have a copy from Owl Crate, which looks like this. And the Owl Crate one is like much heavier, so I think I'm gonna read the Fairy Loot version. This is very like, it's giving Succession, and they're each hiding stuff behind their back, which I'm sure is relevant, but it's funny that both companies went with like purple as a vibe. I mean, I guess this one is more gray and red. Oh my gosh, it also has a ribbon in it. We could have used that for the prompt. Oh well. Okay, so our final book on our January TBR is Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. So as a recap, we've got Gifted and Talented as the lowest on my TBR Goodreads rating. We've got The Favorites because it is a book with 2 words in the title. We've got Anxious People because it's published in 2020. Station 11 because it is outside my usual genre. Our Infinite Fates because it has a prologue, and we've got Things You Save in the Fire because it has the most interesting first line. These are all the books I'm going to be reading. Thank you so much for coming along on that journey with me, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.